In a tumultuous economic landscape marked by significant shifts and uncertainties, the so-called Trump effect is becoming a focal point of discussion among economists and market analysts. As the U.S. grapples with the ramifications of former President Donald Trump's trade policies, recent events have prompted a re-evaluation of their long-term impacts on both domestic and global economies. The debate ignited on May 4 when David Dax challenged Mike Lowry's claims regarding $2 trillion in new manufacturing investments attributed to Trump's tenure. Dax's critique pointed out that many of these investments, including substantial commitments from tech giants like Apple and Nvidia, were initiated prior to Trump's administration and were heavily influenced by the 2022 CHIPS Act. Critics argue that attributing these investments solely to Trump's policies overlooks the broader context of their development. For instance, Apple announced $430 billion in investments before Trump took office, while Nvidia's production in Phoenix was already underway. The consequences of the Trump administration's economic strategies are stark. As of early May, U.S. markets witnessed a staggering $8 trillion decline, with Goldman Sachs projecting a further 20% decrease. Factors such as a weakened dollar, a contraction of GDP for the first time in 3 years, and supply chain bottlenecks at U.S. ports which are operating at half capacity paint a grim picture for American businesses. Kate Elizabeth Hembry, a commentator from Rockbridge County, emphasized that small businesses are particularly vulnerable, facing rising costs and uncertainty about their sustainability. Adding to the complexities, a recent temporary tariff deal between the U.S. and China has brought some relief, yet uncertainty persists. Diane Swunk, chief economist at KPMG US, encapsulated the situation by comparing it to a broken stoplight at a busy intersection, where businesses are hesitant to proceed. While the reduction of tariffs from 145% to 30% on U.S. imports from China promises to restart trade flows, the lingering effects of previous tariffs could lead to stagflation, a scenario characterized by slow economic growth coupled with inflation. Swank warned that the recent panic to import goods following a 40-day halt could exacerbate inflationary pressures, complicating the Federal Reserve's efforts to stabilize the economy. The Fed's decision to hold interest rates steady reflects these concerns as economic uncertainty looms large. Swank noted that the layered nature of tariffs and their uneven application create ongoing disruptions in the supply chain, reinforcing fears of prolonged economic malaise. Moreover, the Trump administration's ambitious goal of negotiating trade agreements with numerous countries within a 90-day window has faced skepticism. Analysts suggest that the challenges inherent in reaching meaningful, enforceable agreements in a one-on-one framework could hinder long-term economic recovery. Swank highlighted that such negotiations typically require years to finalize, undermining the urgency projected by the administration. As the U.S. navigates these complex economic waters, the implications of the Trump effect remain a contentious topic. While some celebrate the return of investment and potential job creation, others caution against the volatility and uncertainty that could arise from hasty policy decisions. The unfolding narrative suggests that the true impact of these economic strategies will take time to fully materialize, with potential ramifications extending far beyond U.S. borders. Looking ahead, the interplay between economic policy, market confidence, and global trade dynamics will be critical in shaping the future landscape of the U.S. economy. As the nation grapples with the consequences of past decisions, the road to recovery appears fraught with challenges, underscoring the need for careful, informed approaches to economic governance in an increasingly interconnected world. In a notable recognition of innovation and impact within the educational technology sector, Lecturio has been named one of Time magazine's World's Top EdTech Companies of 2025, securing the 23rd position globally and 4th in Europe. This accolade underscores Lecturio's commitment to transforming healthcare education through technology, reflecting a significant milestone in its mission to address the global challenges faced in training healthcare professionals. The selection process for the Time and Statista report was rigorous, evaluating over 7,000 companies based on various criteria including financial sustainability, industry impact, and the effective integration of emerging technologies. From this extensive analysis, a final list of 350 companies was curated, highlighting those making substantial contributions to the future of education. Lecturio's presence among the top 25 signifies its leadership in delivering innovative outcomes-driven learning solutions across medical fields, encompassing medical and nursing schools, hospitals, and businesses. COSEO's Pascal Bendian and Stefan Wisbauer expressed their pride in this recognition, stating, "This ranking reflects our team's relentless commitment to solving one of the greatest global challenges, the education and training of healthcare professionals at scale and with quality." They acknowledged that the validation from Time serves not only as a mark of accomplishment but also as a motivating factor to enhance their efforts further. Lecturio distinguishes itself by leveraging evidence-based learning science and a deep content portfolio to create a precision medical education platform. This platform, which includes the NEJM Healer, a virtual patient tool developed by the New England Journal of Medicine, has been instrumental in training learners and educators in over 175 countries. The platform aims to foster scalable improvements in teaching effectiveness and learner outcomes, particularly in regions with limited access to traditional medical training resources. Time's criteria for selection included the demonstrated financial strength of the companies, their innovative contributions to the industry, and their measurable impact on learning outcomes. Lecturio's ranking places it alongside other trailblazers in education technology, all of which are reshaping the delivery of critical knowledge and skills within the healthcare sector. As the landscape of education technology continues to adapt, especially with the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence, Lecturio is poised to remain at the forefront of this evolution. The company's dedication to enhancing medical education through innovative technology not only addresses the current global shortage of trained healthcare professionals but also aims to improve patient outcomes worldwide. Looking ahead, the future seems promising for Lecturio as it continues to innovate and expand its offerings. The ongoing integration of advanced technologies into educational frameworks will likely play a pivotal role in shaping how healthcare professionals are trained, ultimately influencing the broader educational landscape and the quality of healthcare services globally. Stanley Tucci's passion for Italy is once again on display as he returns to the screen with National Geographic's new series Tucci in Italy. This highly anticipated food travel show marks a significant evolution from his previous series Searching for Italy, which was cancelled in 2022 despite receiving critical acclaim and Emmy Awards. The new series, produced by Salt Productions and BBC Studios, promises to delve deeper into the cultural and culinary landscape of Italy, moving beyond the surface-level appreciation of its famed cuisine. In a recent interview, Tucci expressed enthusiasm for the fresh approach of the series, saying, "I think that visually it's more interesting this time around, and I think that we try to go more in depth into the stories as much as you can given the format." This sentiment reflects his desire to uncover the complex relationships between the land, its inhabitants, and the food they cherish, providing viewers with an authentic glimpse into the Italian experience. The show takes Tucci on a journey through various regions including Tuscany, Trentino Alto Adige, Lombardy, Abruzzo, and Lazio. Each episode showcases unique regional dishes, from Lampredato sandwiches in Florence to beef goulash in the Alps. Filmed over 6 months in 2024, Tucci's adventures are not solely focused on culinary delights, they also explore the social fabric of Italy, addressing pressing issues such as immigration and LGBTQ+ rights. The series highlights the contributions of Punjabi migrants in the dairy industry and the challenges faced by Ethiopian immigrants, showcasing a more nuanced picture of Italian society. Executive producer Lottie Birmingham noted the shift in focus for the new series, stating, "I think before we did focus quite a lot on the major cities, whereas this time we've kind of gone out into the wider regions. This broader exploration allows for a richer narrative that transcends traditional tourist hotspots, emphasizing the diverse cultures and communities that shape Italy." Tucci's personal connection to Italy enhances the authenticity of the series. His genuine interest and passion for the country resonate throughout each episode as he navigates both modern and traditional culinary practices. The series also highlights the tension between preserving heritage and embracing innovation. as exemplified by a restaurant in Florence that fuses Japanese techniques with Italian ingredients. Tucci poignantly remarks, they maintain their traditions, they maintain the quality. But it also stops them from growing. There's no reason why you can't have both. One of the standout moments in Tucci in Italy occurs during Tucci's visit to Siena, where he witnesses the city's historic horse race, the Palio. This deeply ingrained cultural event culminates in vibrant street dinners that unite the community. Reflecting on this experience, Tucci shares, I didn't know about that and I just think it's incredible. Italy was a very different place and yet still is very much the same. As Tucci embarks on this new culinary journey, the series promises to engage viewers not only with stunning visuals and delectable dishes but also with thought-provoking discussions about the societal changes facing Italy today. With its blend of gastronomy, culture and social commentary, Tucci in Italy is poised to captivate audiences and offer a fresh perspective on a nation rich in history and diversity. As the series unfolds, it remains to be seen how Tucci's exploration will influence perceptions of Italy and its food culture. With the ever-evolving landscape of culinary television, Tucci in Italy sets a new standard for travel shows, merging entertainment with meaningful discourse and encouraging viewers to appreciate the depth of Italy's culinary heritage in a contemporary context. As Tucci himself notes, the journey is just beginning. And there is much more to discover beneath the surface of this beloved country, and an unexpected twist that highlights the complexities of employee benefits and public finance. A California prison dentist recently received a staggering $1.2 million payout for his unused vacation days upon retirement. Dr. George Suhu's windfall has sparked discussions about the implications of unused paid time off PTO policies, revealing both the potential benefits for employees and the financial burdens they place on employers. As reported by the Los Angeles Times, Dr. Suhu is among nearly 1,000 California state employees who retired with vacation payouts exceeding $100,000 last year. This payout is part of a broader trend where state and local governments are grappling with significant financial liabilities tied to unused PTO. In total, California allocated $413 million in payouts for unused leave in a single year, contributing to an unfunded liability that now exceeds $5.6 billion. The situation has been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, which limited opportunities for employees to take time off due to travel restrictions and the transition to remote work. While California technically caps vacation accrual at 640 hours, lax enforcement has allowed many employees to accumulate excessive leave balances. This issue is not confined to California. Across the United States, public institutions are facing similar challenges, with unused PTO payouts becoming a hidden cost in government budgets. The financial strain is particularly acute in government sectors where laws mandate that unused PTO must be treated as earned compensation, meaning it cannot simply expire and must be paid out when employees leave. This creates a scenario where long-serving employees can retire with significant financial rewards, putting pressure on departmental budgets and potentially hindering the hiring of new staff. On the corporate side, the issue of unused PTO is also a growing concern. Estimates suggest that private employers collectively owe over $318 billion in unused PTO, leading many companies to implement rollover caps or shift to unlimited PTO policies. The latter, while appearing generous, effectively eliminates accrued liability by removing the structure of accrued time off altogether. This approach not only helps companies reduce financial risk but may also inadvertently lead to employees taking less time off due to ambiguous expectations regarding vacation days. In response to the student debt crisis, a new trend is emerging where companies allow employees to convert unused PTO into student loan payments. This innovative benefit addresses two pressing issues: the high cost of unpaid time off and the financial burden of student loans. By enabling workers to direct the dollar value of unused PTO toward their loans, employers can reduce their liabilities while also providing valuable support to employees. The story of Dr. Suhu serves as a poignant reminder of the hidden costs associated with unused PTO, reinforcing the need for both employees and employers to understand the real value of time off. As public institutions and private companies wrestle with these financial realities, the conversation around PTO policies is likely to evolve, prompting new strategies that balance employee well-being with organizational sustainability. Looking ahead, the ongoing dialogue about PTO, its implications on employee wellness, and the innovative ways companies can manage these liabilities will continue to shape workplace policies. As organizations explore solutions that address both financial constraints and employee needs, the future of PTO could hold significant changes that enhance the overall work experience in the ever-evolving landscape of U.S. monetary policy. Kevin Warsh's recent critique of the Federal Reserve has sparked considerable interest, particularly as potential presidential appointment discussions loom. A former Federal Reserve Governor, Warsh's insights delivered in a notable speech last month challenged the institution's current trajectory and underscored the significant economic implications of its decisions. Speaking at the Group of 30 meeting in Washington, D.C., Warsh articulated concerns over what he described as mission creep within the Fed, arguing that the central bank has strayed from its primary mandate of ensuring price stability. He contended that this deviation has led to substantial economic ramifications, including rampant inflation, escalating federal budget deficits, and diminished public trust in the Fed's independence. Institutional drift has coincided with the Fed's failure to satisfy an essential part of its statutory remit, price stability, he stated, advocating for a strategic reset within the organization. Warsh's critique comes at a pivotal moment as he is considered a leading candidate to replace Jerome Powell when his term expires next year. His views resonate with a political base that is increasingly skeptical of established institutions, particularly those perceived as elitist and disconnected from everyday economic challenges. By linking the Fed's distraction from inflation control to issues such as climate change and diversity initiatives, Warsh aligns himself with the sentiments of a political movement that prioritizes economic stability over broader social policies. However, the implications of Warsh's perspective raise complex questions about the direction of U.S. monetary policy, particularly given the contrasting economic philosophies between him and President Trump. While Warsh advocates for a hawkish approach focused on curbing inflation, often associated with higher interest rates, Trump has historically supported lower rates to stimulate growth. This ideological divergence could lead to potential conflicts should Warsh be appointed. Critics of Warsh's stance point out that his analysis lacks consideration of the broader economic context in which the Fed operates. For instance, while he criticizes the Fed for not focusing on inflation, he neglects to acknowledge that the institution had codified a 2% inflation target in 2012, which has influenced its policy decisions significantly. Moreover, the long-term economic dynamics shaped by the China shock, which introduced an influx of low-priced goods and savings into the U.S. economy, have had a profound impact on inflation rates that are not easily attributed to the Fed's actions alone. Warsh's analysis also overlooks the intricacies of the economic crises faced during his tenure at the Federal. The aftermath of the 2008 financial meltdown, followed by a decade of low inflation and high unemployment, showcases the complexity of maintaining economic stability in a globalized world. The Fed's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, which included aggressive interest rate cuts and bond buying initiatives, was designed to combat a crisis that fundamentally disrupted global supply chains rather than domestic credit markets. Despite these criticisms, the prospect of Warsh leading the Fed raises questions about accountability and the appropriate boundaries of the central bank's role. By attributing fiscal irresponsibility solely to the Fed while ignoring the contributions of elected officials, Warsh inadvertently reinforces the very mission creep he decries. The Fed is tasked with navigating the delicate balance between inflation control and employment mandates, a responsibility that should not extend to managing the fiscal policies determined by Congress. In conclusion, as discussions around potential leadership changes at the Federal Reserve intensify, the implications of Kevin Warsh's critique will undoubtedly influence the broader narrative surrounding U.S. monetary policy. His arguments, while rooted in a desire for reform, must be weighed against the complexities of economic realities and historical context. Looking ahead, the decisions made by the next Fed chair will be pivotal in shaping not only monetary policy but also the public's confidence in the institution tasked with steering the U.S. economy through turbulent waters. In today's rapidly evolving technological landscape, the intersection of artificial intelligence, AI, and data management is transforming industries, with companies like Databricks leading the charge. In a significant move that underscores the increasing reliance on AI-driven solutions, Databricks has announced its acquisition of the database startup Neon for an estimated $1 billion. This acquisition is poised to reshape the way databases are utilized in the context of AI agent workflows, marking a pivotal moment in the $100 billion-plus database market. Databricks, a prominent player in the data and AI sector, has emphasized the importance of integrating database technology with AI capabilities. In a press release, the company highlighted that, as the database market braces for unprecedented disruption driven by AI, Databricks plans to continue innovating and investing in Neon's database and developer experience for existing and new Neon customers and partners. This strategic acquisition comes at a time when AI agents are becoming integral to modern software development, with recent telemetry indicating that over 80% of databases provisioned on Neon were created automatically by AI agents rather than human intervention. According to Databricks co-founder and CEO Ali Ghodsi, the era of AI-native agent-driven applications is reshaping what a database must do. Ghodsi further elaborated that by incorporating Neon, Databricks aims to provide developers with a serverless PostgreSQL experience that can adapt to the rapid speed and economic models demanded by AI applications. This acquisition aligns with the growing trend of agentic AI, which relies on advanced AI systems to autonomously create and manage databases, thereby enhancing operational efficiency and innovation. The implications of this acquisition extend beyond mere technological advancement. They signal a broader shift in how businesses approach database management in the age of AI. As Ghodsi noted in his comments to the Wall Street Journal, pretty much every customer we have wants to leverage agents, indicating a strong market demand for solutions that can keep pace with the complexities introduced by AI technologies. Moreover, this acquisition comes on the heels of a substantial funding round for Databricks, which was valued at $62 billion earlier in the year. The company secured $10 billion in equity financing alongside a $5.25 billion credit facility, highlighting investor confidence in its vision to lead the AI-driven data landscape. As businesses increasingly recognize the potential of AI to enhance customer engagement and operational efficiency, the demand for sophisticated database solutions that support these capabilities is expected to surge. As the landscape of data management continues to evolve, the integration of AI-driven solutions like Neon into established platforms like Databricks will likely set new standards for performance and innovation. The ongoing developments in AI and data management not only promise to enhance existing systems but also pave the way for entirely new applications and business models. As we look to the future, the convergence of AI and database technology will undoubtedly play a crucial role in shaping the next generation of enterprise solutions, driving efficiency and fostering innovation across various sectors. The acquisition of Neon is just the beginning of what promises to be an exciting journey into the future of AI and data management. In a groundbreaking study, researchers have unveiled a connection between abstract mathematical principles rooted in string theory and the real-world phenomena of gravitational waves produced by black holes. This landmark research, published in Nature on May 13, 2025, by an international team led by physicists from Humboldt University of Berlin, explores the behavior of black holes during near-miss interactions, providing new insights into the underlying mechanics of these cosmic giants. The exploration of gravitational waves has advanced rapidly since the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory LIGO first detected these subtle ripples in spacetime from merging black holes in 2015, a feat that earned the 2017 Nobel Prize in Physics. Over the past decade, the field has seen a surge in gravitational wave observations, unveiling a range of celestial events. Recent findings suggest that not all gravitational waves result from cataclysmic collisions. In fact, some may stem from near misses between black holes. This revelation poses intriguing questions about the dynamics of these massive objects and their interactions in the universe. The researchers utilized sophisticated mathematical functions known as six-dimensional Calabi-Yau manifolds derived from string theory to model the energy dynamics of black holes during near-miss encounters. You need these new functions, which have been studied intensively in mathematics and theoretical physics but have not been applicable to any physical observable until now, remarked Jan Plewka, a co-author of the study. These mathematical structures, previously confined to theoretical discussions, have now found relevance in describing gravitational wave events. The study focuses on scattering events where black holes or neutron stars closely approach one another without merging. During these encounters, the gravitational forces at play accelerate the objects, leading to detectable gravitational wave signals. The researchers employed techniques from quantum field theory typically used to analyze elementary particle interactions to describe these macroscopic gravitational phenomena. This approach enables a deeper understanding of the mechanics at play in black hole interactions, akin to how particles behave under similar conditions in collider experiments. To enhance the accuracy of their models, the team incorporated multiple levels of complexity into their calculations, reaching what is known as the fifth post-Minkowskian order of precision. They found that their approximations for black hole scattering angles and emitted energies closely matched results from numerical simulations validating their method. However, discrepancies arose when examining scenarios involving head-on collisions, highlighting the need for further refinement in their models. The implications of this research extend beyond academic curiosity. As the next generation of gravitational wave detectors, such as the proposed Einstein telescope in Europe and Cosmic Explorer in the United States, gears up for deployment in the late 2030s, accurate models of black hole interactions will be essential. Jocelyn Redd, a physicist involved with the Cosmic Explorer project, emphasized the importance of having precise predictions to compare against future observations, which will allow scientists to refine their understanding of these cosmic events. Despite the promising advancements, Plewka and his colleagues acknowledge the challenges that lie ahead. Their current models focus on idealized black holes without spin and scenarios of unbound scattering, conditions that differ from real-world interactions where most black holes are believed to spin and eventually merge. Nevertheless, the potential for detecting gravitational waves from such scattering events remains strong, particularly in densely packed regions like globular clusters. As the study demonstrates, the once purely theoretical Calabi-Yau structures of string theory are now intertwined with observable astrophysical phenomena, marking a significant step forward in bridging the gap between mathematics and physics. This research not only enhances our understanding of gravitational waves but also paves the way for future explorations in astrophysics, where the intricate dance of black holes continues to captivate and challenge scientists. Looking ahead, the fusion of advanced mathematics and observational astrophysics promises to unlock even more mysteries of the universe as researchers strive to capture the elusive signals of cosmic interactions that define our understanding of space and time. A recent discovery in the Snowy Plains Formation of Victoria, Australia, has the potential to reshape our understanding of the evolutionary timeline of tetrapods, particularly regarding the origin of amniotes. Researchers have unearthed ancient trackways that suggest these early reptiles or amniotes existed much earlier than previously believed, pushing back their emergence by approximately 35 to 40 million years. This revelation could have profound implications for the study of vertebrate evolution, hinting at a more complex and accelerated evolutionary history than scientists have traditionally acknowledged. The findings, detailed in a study published in Nature by a team that includes prominent paleontologists such as John A. Long and Jegor Zniedzwiecki, challenged the conventional timeline which placed the origin of crown group amniotes in the late Carboniferous period. The newly discovered trackways securely dated to the early Ternasian showcase footprints from a primitive sauropsid, an ancestor of modern reptiles, indicating that these amniotes were already present in northeastern Gondwana well before the previously established timeline. The significance of this discovery lies not only in the age of the tracks but also in what they reveal about the evolutionary process. The research indicates that the amniote crown group node cannot be much younger than the Devonian Carboniferous boundary, suggesting that the tetrapod crown group node may be located deep within the Devonian period. A molecular analysis estimates the age of this node to be around early Frasnian, significantly earlier than the mid-Carboniferous states that molecular phylogenetics had suggested. Andrew Preston, a co-founder of Cassini, expressed that the implications of this research extend beyond paleontology, offering insights into how early tetrapods adapted to terrestrial life. He noted, understanding the timeline and characteristics of these early amniotes not only reshapes our perception of their evolution but also informs us about their ecological roles at a time when vertebrates were transitioning to life on land. The Snowy Plains trackways preserved within a fine-grained silty sandstone block showcase 3 generations of footprints made by the same trackmaker, hinting at complex locomotion patterns that may have included both trotting and walking gaits. The morphology of these footprints, characterized by clawed digits, aligns with characteristics indicative of crown amniotes, further suggesting that these traits arose much earlier than previously documented. This discovery also sheds light on the broader narrative of vertebrate evolution during the Devonian period, which has historically been viewed as a time dominated by stem groups. The new data imply that all stem tetrapod and stem amniote lineages must have originated during this period, challenging the notion that the evolution of more advanced tetrapod forms was primarily a post-Devonian phenomenon. The implications of these findings extend into the realm of biogeography, as they suggest that the early amniote lineage had a more extensive geographic distribution than earlier thought. With the potential for earlier representatives to be found in Euramerica, the discovery indicates that the evolution of early tetrapods was a more dynamic and diverse process rather than a linear progression. As research continues in this area, it underscores the importance of ongoing paleontological fieldwork and the serendipitous nature of fossil discoveries, which can fundamentally alter existing scientific narratives. The ongoing exploration of the fossil record promises to unveil even more details about the complex evolutionary history of tetrapods, revealing a tapestry of life that has shaped the vertebrate lineage we see today. In conclusion, the new trackway evidence from Victoria not only recalibrates the timeline of tetrapod evolution but also opens up exciting avenues for future research. As scientists continue to uncover and analyze ancient footprints and fossil remains, our understanding of the evolutionary processes that have shaped life on Earth will undoubtedly deepen, offering a richer context for the origins of modern vertebrate diversity in a world increasingly dominated by efficiency metrics and relentless productivity demands. A novel framework developed by researchers at Harvard and NYU seeks to shift the narrative around how we perceive and utilize our time. The recent article published in the MIT Sloan Management Review titled "Time Well Spent: A New Way to Value Time Could Change Your Life" introduces a transformative approach to measuring the subjective value of one's time, emphasizing the importance of joy, achievement, and meaningfulness, elements that are crucial to personal satisfaction and overall well-being. The research, co-authored by Leslie Perlow, a professor at Harvard Business School, and Salvatore Affinito from NYU Stern School of Business, stems from extensive studies involving over 2,000 Harvard Business School alumni and 900 working professionals across the United States. Through a meticulously designed app-based tool, participants detailed their weekly activities and assessed how much joy, achievement, and meaningfulness they derived from each, alongside rating their overall well-being. This comprehensive approach allowed researchers to develop a metric they referred to as the subjective value of time. Perlow highlighted the limitations of traditional time management, which often focuses on productivity and efficiency at the expense of personal fulfillment. Traditional time management is about optimization and productivity, she noted, but what's been missing is a way to see if your hours actually deliver value. The research aims to bridge this gap by enabling individuals to evaluate not just how they spend their time but the intrinsic value those hours provide. The study revealed a stark reality: while many people dedicate significant portions of their time to work and productivity, they often neglect activities that bring them joy or a sense of purpose.
The research indicates that merely encouraging a work-life balance is insufficient. Instead,
individuals must actively prioritize activities that enhance life satisfaction. This is where the concept of the life matrix comes into play. This innovative tool maps individual activities based on their time commitment and the subjective value derived, allowing users to visualize where adjustments could lead to improved life satisfaction. The findings underscore the notion that maximizing time spent on high-value activities correlates positively with life satisfaction. For instance, individuals who reported higher life satisfaction dedicated an average of 59% of their waking hours to activities they deemed high value, while those who were dissatisfied spent only 42% of their time similarly engaged. This translates to significant differences in daily experiences, emphasizing that small shifts, such as reallocating just an hour or two each week towards more fulfilling activities, can profoundly impact one's sense of well-being. Among the critical components of the subjective value of time are the JAM types: joy, achievement, and meaningfulness. Each individual's unique combination of these three elements determines their minimum requirements for a fulfilling life. The research found that individuals who met their minimum requirements across all three categories experienced the highest levels of life satisfaction. However, only about 30% of participants managed to meet all three minimums, highlighting the gap many individuals face in achieving personal fulfillment. The Life Matrix also serves as a collective tool for teams and organizations, fostering deeper conversations about well-being and personal values in a workplace setting. By encouraging teams to engage in this reflective process, leaders can promote a culture of intention and support, ultimately enhancing productivity and collaboration. As organizations increasingly recognize the value of employee well-being, the Life Matrix offers a practical means to facilitate this shift. By helping individuals assess how well their activities align with their personal values and life goals, the framework not only empowers personal growth but also fosters stronger team dynamics and workplace culture. The introduction of this new metric for evaluating the subjective value of time holds promise for reshaping how individuals approach their daily lives and responsibilities. As more people embrace the principles outlined in this research, the potential for collective transformation is significant. By prioritizing activities that enhance joy, achievement, and meaningfulness, individuals can craft richer, more fulfilling lives, both personally and professionally. As we look to the future, the implications of this research extend beyond personal applications. Organizations may increasingly adopt the Life Matrix framework to drive team engagement and performance while cultivating an environment where well-being and productivity coexist harmoniously. With the app now available at www.yourlifematrix.com, individuals and teams alike can begin to explore and implement these insights, setting the stage for a more intentional approach to time management that prioritizes what truly matters in life. Airbnb, the company that revolutionized short-term rentals, is embarking on a bold new venture that could redefine its identity in the travel and hospitality landscape. Under the leadership of CEO Brian Chesky, Airbnb is pivoting from its successful rental model to a more expansive vision, to become the Airbnb of everything. This ambitious strategy aims to allow users to book a wide array of services, from personal chefs to beauticians and guided tours, all integrated within a single platform. During a recent media tour, Chesky took to platforms like The Wall Street Journal and Wired, where he enthusiastically promoted the updated vision for Airbnb. The revamped mobile app will now feature three distinct icons representing homes, experiences, and services, enabling users to seamlessly navigate through an array of offerings. According to reports, Airbnb has partnered with over 10,000 vendors across 260 cities in 30 countries, allowing users to book these services directly through the app. Chesky's new initiative includes reviving the concept of experiences, a venture Airbnb previously launched and subsequently abandoned. Originally introduced in 2019 as Airbnb Adventures, the Experiences feature offered curated activities led by local experts before it was paused in 2023 to concentrate on rental properties. Now the company aims to relaunch this concept with renewed vigor, boasting a collection of 22,000 experiences available in 650 cities, including exclusive opportunities such as a chance to sit next to celebrity Conan O'Brien in his podcast studio. To facilitate user engagement with this extensive range of services, Airbnb plans to introduce an AI-powered concierge feature. This innovation is designed to assist travelers in planning comprehensive trips that incorporate unique experiences and services tailored to their preferences. However, this expansive vision raises questions reminiscent of the Uber for everything trend that characterized the tech scene in the 2010s. Critics of the strategy point out that it appears to be a rehash of a past initiative rather than a groundbreaking innovation. Chesky himself has drawn comparisons to the legendary Steve Jobs, asserting that he embodies a creative spirit akin to the iconic Apple founder. "I feel like I know him deeply professionally in a way that few people ever did," he claimed, adding that he views himself as a disciple of Jobs rather than a direct successor. While Chesky's self-assured rhetoric may inspire some, it also invites scrutiny. The ambition to transform Airbnb into an all-encompassing platform could serve as a distraction from the challenges that have plagued the company, including its controversial impact on local housing markets and ongoing concerns over hidden fees. Observers note that the shift in focus might signal a desire to escape the limitations of Airbnb's original business model rather than a genuine commitment to enhancing user experience. As Airbnb charts this new course, the potential impacts on both the company and the travel industry remain to be seen. Will this initiative breathe new life into the brand, or will it stretch the company's resources too thin? As the platform prepares to launch these updates, industry watchers will be keenly observing how Airbnb balances its ambitious expansion with the operational challenges that come with it. Looking ahead, the success of this strategy hinges not only on the execution of its new offerings but also on its ability to maintain the trust and satisfaction of its user base. As the travel landscape continues to evolve, Airbnb's willingness to adapt and innovate will be crucial in determining its future role in the market. In an era of intensifying geopolitical rivalry, particularly between the United States and China, the foreign policy decisions of allied nations are increasingly shaped by domestic public opinion. A comprehensive study conducted by researchers at Incheon National University sheds light on this phenomenon, examining the concept of audience costs, the political repercussions leaders face when they reverse public commitments, and how these costs influence the foreign policy choices of U.S. allies. Led by Assistant Professor Kyung-Suk Lee, the study, published in the journal Contemporary Security Policy, emphasizes the delicate balance these nations must strike. While they often depend on U.S. military support for security, they simultaneously rely on China for economic growth. This dual dependency complicates their foreign policy alignment as they navigate the pressures of public sentiment at home. In the context of South Korea's ongoing debate over joining the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue Quad, a U.S.-led strategic alliance including Japan, India, and Australia, the researchers conducted a national survey experiment to gauge public opinion. Over 90% of respondents regarded the U.S. alliance as crucial for South Korea's national security, economic prosperity, and global standing. Dr. Lee notes our research offers groundbreaking insights into how audience costs significantly affect U.S. allies' foreign policy decisions amid U.S.-China strategic competition, explaining both their initial hesitation to make clear alignment choices and the credibility of their commitments once made. The findings reveal that leaders who deviate from established alignment decisions face significant domestic backlash, particularly from pro-U.S. constituents. This creates a political environment where the costs of inconsistency are high, leading leaders to hesitate before committing to any particular side. Importantly, the study highlights that public opinion is not monolithic. Those with pro-China leanings may be more forgiving of alignment reversals, creating a complex domestic landscape. Dr. Lee asserts U.S. strategists competing with China for influence might recognize that focusing on public opinion in allied nations is vital as the geopolitical landscape continues to evolve. This research underscores a critical insight: foreign policy alignment among democratic allies is not solely dictated by strategic calculations but also by the democratic will of the people. Looking ahead, the implications of this study are profound. As U.S. allies grapple with the pressures of aligning with either the U.S. or China, their foreign policy choices will increasingly reflect the sentiments of their citizens. This dynamic could reshape alliances and influence global power structures as public opinion becomes a pivotal factor in international relations. The interplay between domestic sentiment and foreign policy will warrant close attention as the world navigates the complexities of a multipolar future. In a fascinating recent revelation, scientists have discovered that one hemisphere of the moon is significantly warmer than the other, an anomaly that suggests a complex and uneven interior.
This groundbreaking finding,
based on data from NASA's Gravity Recovery and Interior Laboratory GRAIL mission, sheds light on the moon's internal structure and raises intriguing questions about its geological history. For centuries, humanity has marveled at the moon, noting the stark differences between its near side, which faces Earth, and the far side hidden from our view. While these visual disparities have been observed for many years, the new research led by Ryan Park at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory offers compelling evidence that these differences extend beneath the lunar surface. We have known that the moon's near side looks different from its far side since we first began observing it, Park stated. But we haven't been sure whether that difference reflects something quite literally deeper. The GRAIL mission, which operated between 2011 and 2012,
utilized two orbiting spacecraft to measure how the moon's gravitational field influenced their motion.
This data provided a unique opportunity to analyze the moon's shape and the effects of Earth's gravitational pull. The researchers discovered that the moon's gravitational field could not be reconciled with a symmetric interior. Instead, the data suggested a marked asymmetry. Jeffrey Andrews Hanna from the University of Arizona highlighted that past studies had anticipated the near side would deform more than the far side due to Earth's gravitational influence. The new findings corroborate those predictions, indicating that the moon's interior is in fact warmer on its near side. Park's team quantified this difference, revealing that the moon's susceptibility to deformation is 72% greater than it would be if the interior were evenly distributed.
Several hypotheses were explored to account for this thermal imbalance, including variations in the moon's chemical composition. However, the leading explanation points to a lopsided temperature distribution within the lunar interior. Sean Solomon from Columbia University noted that this model aligns well with what is known about the moon's volcanic activity and the presence of radioactive elements near its surface. The origins of this uneven heating remain a topic for future investigation. Park speculated that the moon's asymmetric interior might be linked to its tumultuous history of collisions with celestial objects. To further probe these mysteries, the research team aims to leverage seismic measurements of moonquakes, which will be facilitated by the Farside Seismic Suite scheduled for deployment in 2026. This research not only enhances our understanding of the moon's interior but also opens avenues for deeper exploration of our closest celestial neighbor. As scientists continue to unravel the complexities of the moon's geological history, we are reminded of how much there is still to learn about the universe that surrounds us. The implications of this work extend beyond lunar science, potentially informing our understanding of other celestial bodies with similar characteristics. As we look ahead, the upcoming missions and studies promise to shed even more light on the moon's enigmatic nature, paving the way for future discoveries that could reshape our understanding of planetary geology and the evolutionary history of the solar system.